So in case it wasn't clear from the last couple of weeks of health announcements that have been coming out of the Trump administration and Trump White House, including that weirdo, bizarre Tylenol press conference where Donald Trump came out and said pregnant women should not be taking Tylenol, or, of course, RFK Jr.'s continued attacks on basic science by, promoting anti-vax conspiracy theories, completely kneecapping the CDC, eliminating any scientist that doesn't want to go along with his quack bullshit. And of course, who could forget that the president himself is a paradigm of health, with his brain continuously leaking out of his ears, whether it be his press conferences, his appearances in the Oval Office, or his speeches abroad, where he just continues to not even be able to form a coherent thought, let alone a coherent sentence. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I think about people who I want to take my health advice from, RFK Jr. and Donald Trump don't exactly top that list. And late last night, Donald Trump made a Truth Social post that is immediately one of the most insane things that he's ever posted or circulated online. Something that has even his most diehard MAGA supporters scratching their heads, especially after he deleted the post 10 hours later. And we're going to get into the full breadth of the insanity of that health announcement. But before we do, I want to talk about the healthcare fight that we're looking at this week, because of course the government shutdown is looming. Democrats are saying they're not going to vote to extend funding for the government unless they get extended healthcare subsidies. We're talking about millions of Americans who are going to see their premiums skyrocket 75% if no action is taken. But let's take a look at the Senate Republican leader, John Thune, react to a question about the clear stakes in this shutdown fight.
Leader Thune, open enrollment starts in November 1st. You just said you are open to potentially negotiating over that. As you know, if they do expire, the number of uninsured people in your state of South Dakota would rise by about 20,000. So why not negotiate now and get this deal done for the people of your state?
Well, the deal is not ready to be done. The government is going to close on Tuesday night at midnight. Let's keep the government open. Let's go to work on that issue. And yes, I mean, some of the notices are going to start going out. The program wouldn't end until the end of the year, and the program doesn't end. These were plus-ups that were done in response to COVID. These were enhancements. And it's a program, Kristen, as I said, that is fraught with waste, fraud, and abuse.
So I know there was a lot of bullshit in there, so let me break it down. He is literally saying he's okay, essentially, with 20,000 of his own constituents having their healthcare premiums skyrocket because, there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in the Affordable Care Act healthcare marketplace. Again, there is something always so grating about listening to Republicans talk about fiscal responsibility and the need to cut back on waste, fraud, and abuse when literally their president just spent $1 billion to change the word defense to war for the Department of Defense. The guy who is blowing money on ballrooms and God knows what else. These same Republicans who blew up the deficit to the tune of $4 trillion in order to pass their extended tax cuts for the rich. Give me a goddamn break. And I hope that John Thune, when he goes back to his constituents, can look them in the eyes and tell them, I'm sorry, I had to basically double the cost of your healthcare plan because there was just too much waste, fraud, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse might literally be the tagline of the Trump administration. So why don't you do us all a favor and get to work? But we know they're not going to. We know they're going to fight Democrats tooth and nail to allow millions of people to have their health care become unaffordable because Republicans don't even pretend to have a health plan anymore. Like at least during the first Trump term, there was this pretend we have our own health plan from Republicans and we're going to replace Obamacare with Trump care. They just completely abandoned that now. Now they're just trying to cut health care. They want more people to be uninsured. They're not even hiding it. There is no plan to get more people on health insurance. It's just, are you rich? Good for you. If you're not rich, go fuck yourself. And as a matter of fact, it's not just go fuck yourself. It's go fuck yourself with a side of conspiracy bullshit. Because here's what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social last night. And I'm just going to roll this clip as he posted it in its entirety. But just a warning, this entire thing is AI generated. Just keep that in mind.
Breaking now. President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system. The launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. With it, you'll have guaranteed access to our new hospitals led by the top doctors in the nation, equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. These facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength, This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
In this first phase, only a limited number of MedBed cards will be released. Registration details will be announced very soon.
So to recap, Donald Trump posted this fake Fox News clip that was AI generated that included his own AI generated voice talking about medbeds. And if you don't know what medbeds are, it is a QAnon conspiracy theory that essentially there is an alien technology that is being hidden to you by the rich and powerful or the cabal or whoever or the deep state. And it's this all-healing technology that could cure anything. And Donald Trump just posted that to his 10 million followers on Truth Social. The president of the United States, who has cut healthcare for 15 million people, who is trying to cut healthcare for more people, is going on his social media accounts to post AI-generated footage of himself talking about alien technology that can cure anything. I just wanted to get that recap out there. And here was the response from Gavin Newsom. Trump is about to shut down the government and rip healthcare from 20 million Americans. What's he doing? Posting AI-generated slop about miracle hospital beds that cure all illness. Donald Trump has lost it. And again, he left that post up for hours and hours. His followers were going insane trying to decipher it. Was Donald Trump telling us that the med beds are real? Was he just trying to warn us about how AI deepfakes have gotten so much better? Who knows? But here's what I know. Donald Trump is a psychopath and a loser who has done literally nothing to make this country better. Whether he's just memeing or is trying to genuinely trick his supporters into believing that they don't need healthcare from the ACA or anything else because he's working on new miracle cures, either way, it's irresponsible, it's insane, and it is shameful. Donald Trump has no plans and no agenda besides his one big grift and going after his political opponents and airing out his grievances and enriching himself using the office of the presidency. And you know what? I hope to God for his sake that those med beds are real, because as I've said, he could probably really use one right about now. But for all of us, for all the rest of us who don't have access to the alien technology that Donald Trump apparently has knowledge of, we're just gonna need healthcare that's affordable. And I have no doubt that we're going to get some absolute theater out of that Oval Office meeting between Democratic leaders and Donald Trump this week over the shutdown. But fine, do whatever needs to be done. We need a fight. If Donald Trump wants to shut it down in order to take away people's healthcare, then shut it down. But the American people are fed the fuck up, and beating Donald Trump's AI aliens healthcare plan should be a pretty fucking low bar.